When Jesus freed the demon-possessed man, he showed the Gerasene people that he is the Son of God. The demons, however, already knew who Jesus was. As soon as Jesus spoke, the demons called him the Son of the Most High God and begged at his feet. When Jesus commanded the demons to leave the man, they had to obey. Not even Jesus' enemies can deny who he is, the Son of God. Demon. An evil spirit working for Satan, the devil. A demon-possessed person was controlled by evil spirits. Jesus ordered evil spirits to come out of many people. Hi, today's story is called The Gerasene Man, and that takes place in Luke chapter 8, verses 26 through 39. I'm glad you guys are here today. Well, Jesus had traveled to a new area, and it was called the region of the Gerasenes, and it was by the sea. Usually when Jesus arrived in a new place, people were glad to see him. They would listen to the things Jesus said, and they would even bring their sick friends to him because we knew that Jesus was going to heal. But on this day, when Jesus and his friends stepped out of their boat, they met a very scary man. As soon as he stepped out of the boat, this man ran up to Jesus and fell on his knees in front of him. But something was different about him. He was controlled by evil spirits. And that, I think, would be scary, wouldn't it? This must have been just horrible. What do you think it was like? Well, we know that evil spirits work for Satan, which is God's enemy. The Bible tells us that evil spirits can cause awful problems if people do not trust in God, but it's important to remember that Jesus is much more powerful than any evil spirit. Now, this man who ran up to Jesus had been hiding in tombs near the sea for years. I can't even imagine that. Can you imagine living like in these places where people had died or were buried? I'm like, I can't imagine like living in something like that. I'm sure he was dirty and filthy and gross. So not only was he scary with his personality, but just looking at him might have been one of those scary kind of things. Now, Jesus wasn't afraid of the way this man looked. He wasn't afraid of the man's actions. And he surely was not afraid of evil spirits. But guess what? The evil spirits were afraid of Jesus. And Jesus told those evil spirits to leave the man. Listen as I read Luke 8:28. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell at his feet, shouting at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torture me." Well, oh my dear, the man didn't know who Jesus was, but the evil spirits knew exactly who Jesus was, and they were terrified. They were afraid where Jesus would tell them to go when they left the man. On a hill nearby, a big herd of pigs was eating. The evil spirits begged Jesus, "Send us into those pigs." Jesus agreed, so the evil spirits went into the pigs. Suddenly, the entire herd of pigs began to run. They ran and ran and ran down the hillside straight into the water, and every one of those pigs drowned. Now it was the herdsman's turn to be terrified. Can you imagine that? Like, what just happened? Well, I'm sure they ran and they told everyone they could find what they had just seen, and the townspeople came running to see with their own eyes what had happened. Well, nothing could have prepared those people for what they saw. Jesus had commanded those evil spirits to leave this man alone, and guess what? Those evil spirits obeyed. But instead of being happy, guess what? The people of the town were even more scared. Jesus' power over the evil spirits was hard for the people to understand. It made them afraid. So the people asked Jesus to leave. Can you believe that? As Jesus got back into the boat and was about ready to leave, the man asked Jesus, what he should do. And Jesus said, go tell others about what I did for you. And you know what? That's exactly what he did. The people who heard the man's story were amazed. Jesus had shown love for this man even when everyone else had feared him. Jesus' love was stronger than any evil spirit and stronger than any fear. The evil spirits in today's story made a lot of people afraid, but Jesus' love is much more powerful than evil spirits or anything else that can frighten people. Even when we feel like there is no one to help us, Jesus promises to be with us. Knowing that he loves us helps us to not be afraid. God's love is bigger and stronger than any fear. Which takes us to our memory verse today. Isaiah 54:10. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken. Because God loves us, we can trust him to give us peace when we're afraid and to show us what to do. You know, when you see a police officer, they help us by protecting us and making sure we're safe. But God takes care of us so much more because his love is stronger than any police officer and stronger than anything. We can't see God, but we can know that he will keep his promise to always love us. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken. Isaiah 54:10.